Hello guys, welcome back to TechDose, and in this video we will look at total characters in string after transformations 2 problem, which is from Leetcode number 3337. Now I will highly recommend to watch the binary exponentiation video. Followed by that you must watch the matrix exponentiation video. Both these links will be present in the description below. Before solving this second part, I would highly recommend you to solve the first part, which is from 3335. Let's now read the problem statement. In this problem, you are given a string s consisting of lowercase English letters, an integer t representing the number of transformations to perform, and an array nums of size 26. In one transformation, every character in s is replaced according to the following rules. Replace s at I with the next nums s at I minus a consecutive characters in the alphabet. If s at I is a, then a will be a minus a equals to 0. So nums at 0 being 3 means a will be transformed to the next 3 consecutive characters, which will be b, c, d. Fine. The transformation wraps around the alphabet if it exceeds z. Like if you have to perform 2 transformations after y, then it will be z and a. Okay. So here an example is given. S at I equals y and nums at 24 is 3. Then y will be transforming to the next 3 consecutive characters, which is z, a, b. Return the length of the resulting string after exactly t number of transformations, and since the answer may be very large, we need to return it modulo 10 to the power 9 plus 7. Now if you look at the example given, then in the first example we have a, b, c, y, y, and the number of transformations we want to do are 2 transformations, a, b, c, double y. Okay, now in this case, if you transform it one time for the first time, then a will be looked at as nums at 0, right? This 0 is a and the last one 25 will be z, and you can understand all the corresponding characters based on the index from 0 to 25. A will be transformed only once, so a will be transforming to b, b will be transforming to c, c to d. If you look at y, y will be transforming to z, and this y will also be transforming to z one time. Now if you perform the second transformation, you look at b, b will be transformed to c, c will be transformed to d, d will be transformed to e, then z will be getting the next 2 consecutive characters, which is a and b, and again another z will be getting the next 2 consecutive characters a and b. So what is the size here? 3 plus 2 plus 2, which is 7. And that is why the result is 7, right? Now in this case, you cannot simulate and create the string, as I had already discussed in part 1, because if you do that, and you already know that the length can exceed 10 to the power 9 plus 7, definitely if you have 1 byte per character, then 10 to the power 9 number of characters will consume 1 GB. You don't have so much of space, and it can even grow larger. So first of all, it will give you memory limit exceeded, and also it will give you time limit exceeded, because the total computations that you have to perform is maximum 10 to the power 8. You must always be within the 10 to the power 8 limit. Okay. So you cannot use any kind of simulation approach directly here, because another simulation approach that I had talked about, which was optimal in the first part, was to create a frequency array from 0 to 25. And whenever there was a transition, like let's say what happens for this a, if a would have transitioned to b, c, d, then I will be taking 1, 2, 3, and whatever is the frequency, I will be adding plus 1, plus 1, plus 1 to all of them by iterating nums at I number of times. Okay. So this was already done in part 1, and the part 1 solution will give you TLE here. Fine. Why is that? Because if you look at it, the s dot length is 10 to the power of 5. If you look at the nums length, it is 26. And nums at I, that means the maximum number of transitions that a letter can get is maximum 25 size. That means a can go to b, c, and so on till z, but it cannot go beyond that point. Okay. So the total transformations are maximum 25, so 25 will be multiplied. If you look at this complexity, it will be 6.5 times of 10 to the power of 7, which is very, very close to your 10 to the power 8. So this may not pass, because there will be other things that you are doing in your problem, right? So this is not a recommended solution, and this solution was already done in part 1, so you can follow that video as well. Now let's look at an idea for solving it optimally. Now in this case, we will understand the recurrence relation and try to build the transformation matrix. This was explained in a lot of detail in the matrix exponentiation. So I hope you have seen that video as well. Let's assume that the alphabet size is only ABCD. The alphabet size indicates all the unique characters present in your alphabet set. In our problem statement, it is of 26 size from A to Z. But just for the sake of example, I have taken only 4 size so that it is easier to represent. And in this case, if you look at the constraint, num set I being ranging from 1 to 25, any num set I value cannot grow beyond the side of alphabet size minus 1 is the maximum value that the num set I value can have, because alphabet size is 26 and this is 25, right? So accordingly, I have changed the constraint to num set I being less than equals to 3. Now let's take the initial string to be BC, right? And I have also defined a nums array. What is this nums array? If you look at any example, it is already given in the example. This nums array will be giving you the transition that you will be having. Like if you have A, then where will this A transition? This one value, which is at 0, the one value is showing that it will be transitioning to B. If it had 2 value, it will be transitioning to BC. If it had 3 value, it will be transitioning to BCD, right? So these transition rules are defined in the nums array. And these are all consecutive transitions starting from immediately the next character. So these are all the rules. A will be transitioning to BC. So just immediately from the next character, we are taking 2 characters. And that is why nums at 0, which is for A, is denoting size 2. B will be transitioning to C, so 1. C will be transitioning to DAB, so 3. D will be transitioning to A, so 1. Okay, so I hope you have understood how I have created the nums array. Now from this, if you try to understand these transitions, A transitioning to BC, this means that B is dependent on A and C is also dependent on A, right? So it is similar to writing a function where you write t of n equals t of n minus 1 and plus t of n minus 2, something similar to that, which I had explained in the matrix exponentiation problem, right? So on how many maximum variables can any character depend? Like let's say I take a character D here. So in how many different combinations can you reach to this D? Whether an A will have num set A value 3 in such a way that A will be giving you BCD, and so D will be dependent on A, right? Or A will be producing D. You can just read it in any way you want. Again, B can also produce CD by having num set 1 value equals to 2 if there was, right? So D can be reached from ABC, and I will also be considering that A can be reached from BCD, B can be reached from CDA, and so on, right? So there are technically alphabet size number of variables and they will have interdependencies, right? And so for that reason, the recurrence relation can have maximum 26 degree. Okay, 26 degree, and they are all linear. I have explained you linear, non-linear, everything in matrix exponentiation, right? So 26 degree linear recurrence relation is the maximum for this particular problem. And that is why the degree of the recurrence relation, if it is D, then you know that the transformation matrix will be of the size D by D, as explained in my previous video of matrix exponentiation, right? So in this case, if the alphabet size is 4, then the degree of recurrence relation is 4, and therefore the transformation matrix that I have will be of size 4 by 4. Now let's understand this matrix. In this case, I have written ABCD in both the rows and columns. So in the columns, I will be assuming it to be from and the rows to be 2. The meaning of the first column being 0, 1, 1, 0 means that from A, you can transition to B and you can transition to C. So if you want to perform a transformation, then from A we will be going to BC, but we will not be having A and D. That is the meaning. From B, we will only go to C. You check out all the rules. From B, we will only be going to C. From C, we will be going to A, B, and D. You see A, B, and D, right? From D, I will only be going to A, but nowhere else. And this is also defined in the nums array as well as in these rules. And that is something which I have represented using a transformation matrix 4 by 4 size. But in our actual problem statement, the alphabet size contains A to Z. So the recurrence relation will have 26 degree and therefore this transformation matrix will be of size 26 by 26. So the rows will have A to Z and the columns will have A to Z, and if A is transforming somewhere, then we will write ones for them, otherwise we'll write zeros. Okay, so we will be building 26 by 26 size transformation matrix for the problem. But for this example, I will just be taking 4 by 4. Now once you have understood that, let's try to calculate the result. So our initial string is S equals to BC. And let's say that we need to do 7 number of transformations. So we will record the initial frequency of each of the characters. So this is A, B, C, D. So A has occurred 0 times, B and C both have occurred 1 time, and D has occurred 0 time. Therefore, the state of the character frequencies after T number of transformations can be written as the initial input, which is 0, 1, 1, 0. And to that we need to multiply the transformation matrix raised to the power of transformation number of times. If I needed to see the frequency of each characters after just getting one transformation done, then I will be taking the initial frequency, and simply to the initial frequency array we will be multiplying the transformation matrix raised to the power of 1. Okay, and whatever matrix that I get, which is the resultant matrix, will be containing the frequency of characters, each of the unique characters, those many times after doing the transformation, right? But if you want to do transformation T number of times, I will be raising it to the power T, as explained in the exponentiation video, the matrix exponentiation, right? So I will be taking the input and multiplying it with the transformation matrix raised to the power of transformation number of times, and I will get this as the result. Now before getting the result, if you want to calculate the transformation matrix raised to the power of 7 in this case, then you have to apply matrix exponentiation on top of it, and this is the result, intermediate result, which I will get. I will be multiplying this with 0, 1, 1, 0, and then I will get the result 46, 30, 54, 25. This means that if you had started with BC, then after 7 number of transformation according to the given set of rules from which you derived the transformation matrix, your A frequency will be 46, B will be 30, C will be 54, and D will be 25. In this case, I don't actually care about the order of the characters, but only about the frequency, and that is why this logic works, the frequency logic works. Now the problem had asked about returning the length of the resulting string after exactly T number of transformations. So when I know the frequency of all the unique elements, I can just iterate and add all the values to get the total number of characters. So in this case, the answer is going to be 155. So I hope everything is clear. This entire solution depends on two things: understanding about the recurrence relation and forming the transformation matrix. Second thing, about calculating the matrix exponentiation. That's all. Now after having done this, the time complexity of this approach is k cube log of t, where t is the power of the matrix. So it will be taking log of t times, it will be calculated in log of t times, but since the matrix is of size k by k, each of the operation on the matrix is like multiplying the row elements with column elements, adding them together to get a single element in the result. Again repeating the same process over and again for all the rows and for all the columns. So that will involve a complexity of k cube for k degree recurrence relation. In this case, our recurrence relation is of size 26. So this will be consuming 26 cube times log of the number of transformations. So if you check out the number of transformations, I think it is 10 to the power of 5. Let's see. Yes, it is 10 to the power of 5. So 26 cube times of log of 10 to the power of 5. So this will be the overall runtime. So if we assume it to be around 1.7 times of 10 to the power of 4, this 26 cube, and multiply this log of 10 to the power 5 with 20, 20 comes for 10 to the power of 6, then it will be somewhere around 3.4 times of 10 to the power of 5, right? So this is well within your 10 to the power 8 range, and definitely this is going to pass. The space complexity is order of k square, and you have taken k square size only for the transformation matrix, but there will be other spaces that you take for the resultant array and so on, but the overall complexity is not going to change. It will still be order of k square. I hope this is clear. Let's now look at the code. If you are someone who is looking to prepare for top product based company within a limited time of just 3 months, then we have brought for you both the DSA and the system design live interview training program. The most important feature of this program is you get a filtered and condensed structured curriculum, in-depth discussion of all the topics, and my guarantee of your understanding, one-on-one guidance with me, and live weekend classes. To know more about the training, you can WhatsApp us on this given number. Now in this case, I have defined an alias for the matrix as two-dimensional array of size 26 by 26 and taking a mod of 10 to the power 9 plus 7. This is the code for multiplying two matrices A and B and returning a resultant matrix. Now this is the code for matrix exponentiation, which I had already explained in my matrix exponentiation video. Now after having seen this, we will be moving on to the main part of this problem. So the main part of the problem contains the given string with the t number of transformations and nums as the transformation rules, you can say, from where you can derive the recurrence relation. So I will be taking the initial frequency of each of the character, taking off 26 size, which is alphabet size in this case, calculate the initial frequency, and after that we will be calculating the transformation matrix. This will be depending on the recurrence relation. That means it will be depending on the nums. So if let's say at 0, the nums at 0 value was 3, then that means A will be transforming to BCD. Okay. So in the column of A, that means in the column number 0, in the transformation matrix, if it is converting to BCD, for A it will be 0, for B it will be 1, for C it will be 1, for D it will be 1, for E it will be 0, and so on till Z it will be 0. This is how the column will be inserted, and that is what we are doing here. Okay, we need to wrap around. When we go to value 26, we need to wrap around again to 0, because maybe for Y it will be ZAB, even though the nums value is 3. So Y value will be around 24. So if you keep adding the values, you get reach to 25, 26, 27, but you need to wrap around. That's why we have done a mod 26 here, right? After having found the transformation matrix, we need to calculate the transformation matrix raised to the power of t, which is done by the matrix exponentiation. Once that is done, we have the initial frequency array as well. We need to multiply them by calling the matrix multiplication. So simply I have performed the matrix multiplication between the initial array and the transformed matrix raised to the power of t. In this case here, you can look at it, and after that we will be getting the final matrix where all the items x, y, z, whatever it is mentioned, a, b, c, all these are frequency of each of the item, and you keep adding all the frequencies to get the final frequency. That means the final count of characters, which will be stored in string size. We can iterate over this entire matrix of size 1 row and 26 columns and get the result. So that will be what we will be returning. So I hope this entire solution is clear. If you still have any doubt, then I will highly recommend to watch the prerequisite as well as rewatch this video. There were 3 prerequisites, right? So if you still have any doubt, feel free to comment below and I'll try to help you as soon as possible. See you guys in the next video. Thank you.